Hello and welcome to Mike's Diabetes World. It could be a little noisy today. I'll try to get out of the way, but today I want to continue with our story. Now, where I left it off, I had run-ins with the doctor who wasn't too happy with me being there. I think he thought all the best place for you is outside, but none of the other doctors seemed to agree with him. But you know what? It all ended up well. Now, I ended up with a different resident, and things were going fine, or as well as they could be expected to do. And then there was an outbreak of the big C virus. And that wasn't good news, even for a workplace, but let alone in a hospital. So I pretty well just stayed in my room for a while, and then they came around and said, well, you need to be tested. And I think I ended up with 4 COVID tests while I was in there. It's not a great thing. It feels to me like it's just scratching the part of the brain that's saying, oh, you need to sneeze. Well, I did. I always seem to sneeze after it. And I went. I didn't go. They tested me. I was negative. Still went and got the x-rays of my bowels to make sure things were working correctly. But then you know what? Surprise, surprise. They all were. So, a lot of quiet time. The only real kind of different look of the place was outside my hospital window. They were tearing down the old nurses' place to build a new part of the hospital. So yeah, that was wonderful, exciting. Oh yes, couldn't stop. Now, I had a visit from a specialist, and I'd never really seen this specialist before. And he came in and he looked at me, and he went back and he looked at my file, and then he came back and said, well, you know what? I think you have something called SIBO or SIBO, SIBO. And it's where certain foods react with your gut. And he started me on 10 days of antibiotics. And you know what? They seem to start to work, and it settled things down. Now, you have to be aware that I don't think they really knew what was going on with me, what was causing my issues. So I got another colonoscopy. So here's 3. And that was all normal again. I guess they were wanting to see if me having this condition for that long had me, keep investigating and to see if it had damaged my internal organs. Well, it hadn't. And I took the antibiotics for 10 days. And it was the only sort of thing that really was working. And it was first the only sort of relief I got. All of a sudden, physiotherapy started to work on me getting up with my walker and walking, which I still do today. I haven't felt comfortable to sort of go back to where I was before. I was able to get up and walk short distances, like I couldn't walk a mile on my own, but didn't work. And I mean, we worked on getting me my walker. So the occupational therapist got me my walker and ordered a bed. And of course, I couldn't come home until I actually had the bed. Well, I'm back. Yay! It got very hot out there very quickly. So I thought I'd come in and at least be under a fan and be a little bit more comfortable. What that is. It's a tag for the shirt. Ooh. So, my last 2 weeks were pretty well uneventful in the hospital. I kept taking my medication, and they weren't going to let me go unless everything was kind of working okay. And I was still, sort of having the runs. So we continued with the antibiotics. The antibiotics did a good job, and it cleared things up. So basically, the rest of the time while I was there, I went and continued on the antibiotics, started going for more walks with my walker to build up my strength. And then one day, my resident was on the floor, and I don't really know why she was on the floor, but she was. It was sort of like just the odd time. And she came in and said, well, you are eligible for the vaccine. Do you want to take it? And I said, of course. Well, we'll put you in for both doses. Back then, it was only 2 out of I think we're up to 4 now. But I took it, and I was quite comfortable. Nothing really hurt. Like I didn't, I wasn't sick or, any of the other things. The only thing, I was a little tired. And I slept pretty well the next day. I kept watching my videos, and there was no TV available in the hospital. And once we were infected, we couldn't leave the ward. And I think once I was taken downstairs, and I had to put on the gown, and I had to put on the gloves and the mask, and even though the whole time I was there, I was negative. And I guess while I was there, they really didn't want to send people home. They closed our whole ward, and then they came in one day and they taped up part of the hallway. It was kind of like that construction kind of plastic tape with the tape, and that side of the wall, sorry, that side of the wall was the cool, and we were the warm, meaning we had it and they didn't. And we did have one person pass away, but she was listed dying from COVID, but I think COVID just tipped her over. She was already, not doing that well. And well, I don't want anyone to even get COVID. And we heard today that President Biden has it. We don't want anyone to have it, whether you're a child or an adult or whatever. So, while everything's relaxing, keep things separate. When you're away from your home, keep 6 feet. If you go indoors, I'm just repeating what I've heard, you should be wearing a mask on the indoors. Don't fool around, especially if you have decided not to take the shot. Your life is too valuable. Anyway, that's it for, I believe, part 4. I'll be back again tomorrow. Have a super day. Bye.